that the president of Israel needs to give the prime minister?
Pardon? I think he will. How do you not? He's a wartime prime minister who's a hero. How do you not give a pardon? You know, I think it's a very hard thing not to do it. I spoke to the president, and it's on. I mean, he tells me it's on its way.
Mr. President,
Can't do better than that.
I think Netanyahu's popularity is actually increasing right now because, like, the main problems with him, I guess, in the eyes of the Israeli population was, one, he's openly corrupt, and two, security failings led to October 7th. But October 7th happened a while ago, and I think that over time, the Israeli people are just more pro-corruption. They've just gotten more evil. The data supports this conclusion. So, yeah, I don't know. His party did well recently.
Mr. President, can you expound on the importance of a strong relationship with the State of Israel? And Mr. Prime Minister, you called President Trump the strongest friend for the State of Israel. You worked with numerous administrations, numerous presidents. Can you expound on that and what makes President Trump such a strong friend for the State of Israel?
Why don't you go first?
I'll say it again and again and again. We've never had a friend like President Trump in the White House. It's not even close.
So cool.
And I think you can judge that by not merely by the frequency of our meetings, but by the content and the intensity. I think Israel is very blessed to have President Trump leading.
All the Nazis seething watching Trump capitulate to Israel. I think a not insignificant portion of the 18 to 29 age demographic switching away from Trump is from very far right or extremist young people who have turned away from Trump because they view him as a compromise candidate. You know, not all of it, but like a pretty significant portion of it is that, for sure.
The United States, and I'll say it, leading the free world at this time. I think it's not merely Israel's great fortune. I think it's the world's great fortune.
Well, I just want to say that it's very important who the Prime Minister and President of Israel is. We have a great relationship. It was an honor to speak before your leaders. That was a great honor for me. I think it has not happened before, or something they told me. But the relationship's been extraordinary, and Bibi's a strong man. He can be very difficult on occasion, but you need a strong man. If you had a weak man, you wouldn't have Israel right now. Israel would have been, you know, Israel with most other leaders would not exist today. They would not exist. And now there's
Israelis are some of the worst people ever. They made the whole of Barcelona and Naples heavily anti-Semitic. Yeah, if there is going to be a Fourth Reich, it's going to form along the entire northern coast of the Mediterranean, from every town and tourist destination that Israelis have visited over the past, like, you know, couple of years. Because there are so many videos out there of Israeli tourists visiting fucking Italy, France, Spain, whatever, just being the most awful, belligerent fucking people, you know? No Israeli signs? We're getting to that point, man. We're getting to that point. Oh, here's the Israel prize. Yes!
You've been a great friend, and I've been a great friend to you.
A good prize for a good boy.
It's been my honor. And the award that I was given was really surprising and very much appreciated.
Well, President Trump has broken so many conventions to the surprise of people, and then they figure out, oh, well, maybe, you know, he was right after all. So we decided to break a convention too, or create a new one, and that is to award the Israel Prize, which in almost our 80 years, we've never awarded it to a non-Israeli, and we're going to award it
the Expedition 33 Award
to President Trump. We're
giving Trump our highest honor, Indie Game of the Year Award.
Announced formally over lunch by our Minister of Education, who's responsible for the Israel Prize. It's going to be awarded to President Donald J. Trump for his tremendous contributions to Israel and the Jewish people. I think it's such a fitting thing, and it would honor us, obviously, Mr. President, if you could visit Israel in that occasion on our Independence Day. But I have to say that this reflects the
Recently, one of the guys accused of receiving money from Qatar while working in Bibi's office did an interview, and he pretty much confirmed what we already knew, that Bibi and his entire administration is operating like the mob. Yeah, I mean, they're horrendously corrupt. So, of course, is our administration. It seems like there won't really be any consequences to it, so, you know, whatever. Remember the last time we streamed, we were reading up on the backsliding of rights? They're introducing fucking Jewish Sharia courts for civil disputes, not just for marriage or religious disputes or whatever. They're doing it for financial matters too. Crazy.
Overwhelming sentiment of Israelis across the spectrum. They appreciate
rabbinical
what you've
courts.
done
Thank you.
to help Israel and to help our common battle against the terrorists and those who would destroy our civilization. So, again, that's an expression of thanks.
USS Liberty on one. The USS Liberty ship pisses me off because it's like the worst example of Israel being belligerent and hostile to America's foreign interests. Like, everything Israel has done for the past 25 to 30 years is like it's broad as daylight. And then it's like, well, did you know 60 years ago in the fog of war, Israel like fired on a ship they may have known was an American ship? Like, I don't know, fucking maybe. If we're going back 60 years, look at what we were doing in like Italy or fuck the rest of Western Europe, you know? It's just a weak example. It's just a weak example. You know, people fixate on it because I think because USS Liberty just sounds really punchy, but there's so goddamn much evidence.
And appreciation.
Thank you, baby, very much. That really is a great honor.
The fucking Israel Award. Jesus.
Will you support an attack, Israeli attack on Iran, if Iran will not have a deal? If Iran will continue with their ballistic missiles and also nuclear weapons?
If they will continue with the missiles, yes. The nuclear, fast.
Great. Excellent. Thank you, Mr. President. It's so cute how they wore matching outfits. You know, it's fucked up. Trump doesn't give a single fuck about Israel. Yeah, of course not. But he does care about getting, like, awards and compliments and stuff. So he's getting what he wants. You know. Look, it's not just America and Israel, dude. Keep in mind that, like, every single Western European nation is still too pussy to call out Israel. They won't even call out Trump. Like, every country in the world, like, we all know all of them hate Trump. And they're still so terrified of the consequences of speaking out against him. When we all know perfectly well that if the European Union said, nah, fuck you, like, we're not dealing with this shit, you can tariff us if you want, and then just increase not domestic, but like intra-EU trade, they would fuck America way worse than they would get hurt, you know? They could work with China, they could build an economic bloc that completely ices us out. But, you know, it's appeasement. It's always appeasement. Canada's spoken out against Trump? Nah. Canadian fucking premiers, what are they? Their governors? They've spoken out. Provincial leaders? They've spoken out against Trump. But Mark Carney, as soon as he got sworn in, Mark Carney backed off. It's weird because the sentiment of the people is way harsher than what the government response usually is. Well, yeah, I mean, like, the governments of Spain and Italy are tepidly anti-Israel. The populations of Spain and Italy would, like, be open to a crusade if directed, you know? You could bring back, like, the old crusades, like the children's, you know? Just march the entire population of Italy up around the Mediterranean down. Oh, it'd be horrible. It'd be a bloodbath. 90% of them would die. Yeah, half the population of Ireland would attempt to swim across 2 channels if it meant getting to Israel. The EU is literally pushing out Visa and American payment processors. Yeah, but then why don't they say anything? You know? Listen, all I'm saying is, it really cuts into the rest of the world's ability to sneer at us during our great century of American humiliation when your leaders are too cowardly to say what literally everyone in your country believes, which is that we have gone insane. Like, there are many things that our leaders won't commit on or won't say because these are 60-40 or 65-35 issues or whatever, but on whether or not America has lost its mind and Trump is like a threat to global civilization, this is like a 90-10 issue in most of the world, and your leaders still can't say shit. So I'm just saying, like, that, you can't really aura farm off of that. You're not... I don't know if America's really in a century of humiliation yet, though. Have you tried buying anything on a foreign market lately? The US dollar is down like 15% compared to the beginning of the year. Like 13 or something? I was taking a look at the yen conversion rate. Yeesh! Thank God I went to Tokyo when I did. Back when the exchange rate was favorable. Right now, I'd be getting fleeced if I went over there. I'm supposed to be going there in March. What's that hat? You need to get the Japanese version of that hat. I am fleeing the American century of humiliation. Can you please direct me to your nearest Baja Blast vending machine or something to that effect? Where is the white monster? Yeah. Would you go on Trash Taste if invited? I don't know what that is, but I do have Trash Taste, so I feel like my input would be valuable. Is EU not kind of dealing with a problem of far-right parties that love throwing American talking points? They love throwing American talking points, but I think you'll find the average supporter of reform or the AFD is still not, like, pro-America, really. There's a diversity of opinions here, but we're talking, like, 30 to 40% of the population, and then even within that percent of the population, a lot of them still hate America for their own reasons. Even if they've all adopted the talking points. Do you think the EU should federalize? Hasn't it? What do you mean? Are they not? I think they mean like form into one country. Oh. Nah, probably not. I'm still not sure if it's a good thing that they all use the euro, you know? The fact that you all share one currency, but you can't have one financial... Like, your different countries can't have different monetary policies, so you're kind of stuck with, like, the EU central printing mechanism. I don't know. It's complicated. There are benefits and there are losses. The differences aren't as big as the differences within U.S. states economically. That's true. It's complicated. It's complicated. I don't know. They should all use the Chinese yuan. Not a terrible idea. China doesn't want the world to trade in their currency, though. Well, yeah, it would cut into their... If China became... If the yuan became the global reserve currency, it would cut into their ability to be like a domestic manufacturing base. You know? America's current status as like the world economic hegemon right now is built almost entirely on our being the global reserve currency and the fact that we're the center of global financialization. But that's not like a permanent thing. It could very well be the case that within 10, 20, 30 years, another country could be the hotspot for financial bullshit. Like, over time, more and more of this stuff has been moved into, like, the Cayman Islands, for example, you know? Like, as people get increasingly greedy, they want to move more and more of their stuff off market. I wonder, like, eventually somebody's going to open a stock exchange off the Cayman Islands, and it's going to end up being 90% of the global GDP. Like, nothing's going to actually be produced there, mind you, but all the money's gonna flow around there like a big vortex, sucking it out of other nations. They already have a stock exchange? Oh, okay. Well, it'll get bigger. Maybe. It could be. We're geographically blessed to be hegemon, though? Nah, that's so 20th century. Yeah, America's tough to invade, but there are fucking nukes now. You know, that's not... That's... During the age of sail, that's more of a point. But now it's mostly just a global capital and where the chips fall. I mean, we are blessed. Of course we are. We're American.